Hello and welcome to Lifetime Uncorked, the podcast where we discuss your favorite made-for-TV movies. Whether you love to hate watch or hate yourself for loving them, pour up a glass of your favorite cocktail and join us. I'm your host, Patrick Serrano, and my guests today are...
I am Drew Current.
Maureen Watson.
And I am Ron Watson.
Hooray!
Yay!
Oh,
We're here.
We're here, and the Watsons are here.
Yes, we are.
The old Watsons.
Present.
Yes, my married friends. Not my only married friends, but probably my first married friends, I think.
And we're not boring old married friends.
No, you're fun married friends. You brought your own to-go wine cups today.
We did.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. I also might have done their ceremony, Universal Life Church. Drew,
Oh, yeah. Yep.
you know about that.
Word up. We're both...
We're both ministers.
We're both-
Or
Minister-
I chose Reverend.
Yeah, Reverend
yeah.
Patrick.
Miguel.
Yeah, we're pretty into the Universal Life Church. We're devout Universal Life Church
Yes.
churchers.
One of my faves. One of my fave churches.
The tax write-offs are amazing.
Yeah, and it's also fake. Kinda.
Oh. No, it's not.
not
You get a
fake.
card and you get a
I
certificate.
said that wrong. It's not fake. It's just not a religion.
That is true. My
Right.
mom actually said, "Are you guys really married?"
Oh, really?
I'm not quite sure. I go, I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, you
so
are.
we may technically not be married.
How long did the certification
it's
take,
legit.
Patrick?
I just applied online. It was so easy.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't even have to call anybody or talk to anyone at all.
They're like, "Are you a person?" And you're like, "Uh-huh."
I didn't even think you need to be a person. You could just put anything in.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just a website.
Yeah, so you don't even have to be in person.
I would have loved if my dog married me.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that would be great. But it was me, a human. Speaking of humans, we have some humans in these movies we're talking about.
Oh, yeah, there are
allegedly.
humans in
Today we are talking about Christmas Next Door. We are coming down to the last few movies, guys. We're doing it. It's happening. The movie stars Jesse Metcalfe, who you might know from Desperate Housewives, from, what was it? What was the
John
thing?
Tucker Must Die is the movie.
With Ashanti, yes. And then his co-star in this is Fiona Gubelmann.
Who didn't you say, Ron? She was in an episode of something?
Her IMDb said she was in an episode of The League, a show that we both watched.
Oh, yeah.
I don't recall her from it, but
She's
I've
not.
seen every episode.
I don't recall her from this movie, so that's fine.
Very forgettable.
Yeah.
Very forgettable.
Oh, I thought her and her sister were very pretty. They wore a lot of makeup.
Everyone's pretty in these movies.
But-
No one is ugly. Nobody.
Yeah, nobody's on there.
Were they sisters or lovers?
They were sisters, but let's jump into it. So we have April and Eric and their new neighbors. So they live like 2 houses away, so they're not actually neighbors.
I got to jump in
Yeah, did that
because
bother
the
you?
logistics in this movie is a major issue.
Right.
At one point, she says he lives 2 houses down.
Yes.
Then at one point, he knocks over some decorations in his neighbor's lawn, and she claims they're hers. He also then walks her across the street at one point.
Oh, right. Yeah. So just inconsistent
But the
location
cherry,
or whatever it
the
is.
cherry on that Sunday is they can hear each other through his wall.
Yes. Yeah, that was something weird too.
We
like
were very confused about that.
Are
Like-
they houses?
their
Yes,
houses.
like big
Separate houses.
Yeah.
like a suburban neighborhood.
Not row houses
Okay.
or like townhouses or anything like that. It's like little houses on the hillside. Little houses, whatever.
These are just the last one. These are the ones where like the director's just like, huh?
We don't care.
They're like, sir, this is kind of weird. I don't fucking care. Just
yeah.
get the fucking
We
tape
literally
done.
filmed
Yeah,
this
it makes
yesterday.
no sense.
Yeah.
So it is very strange, and even stranger. Eric is like a sport. He drives a sports car, and he's like a dude, right?
Yeah.
So
He's a total dude, bro.
and I'm glad I have Ron here because Ron is a dude that I know.
Let me jump in. The very first shot is him driving a Corvette, which is a fiberglass sports car.
A red
In
Corvette.
In the middle of winter, though.
Okay.
With the top down?
No, the top was not down.
But his windows were rolled down. And
But
he had
you do not
sunglasses.
drive a Corvette in the winter because it's fiberglass. Even the slightest slip and ding into another car ruins it.
Yeah.
So you don't drive that in the winter.
Yeah.
Well,
Also, the introduction to him is he's got his window down like catcalling his neighbors, making fun of their Christmas decorations.
But if you're this dude, you fucking ride that Corvette anytime you want.
Yes. So he is like a dude, and they do this whole thing at the top. Usually we get the exposition at the top, right, Drew? So like instead of that, we get a cut scene, like intercut. The females are decorating or like in a like catalog Christmas thing talking about their exposition, and Eric, the girl's name is April. Eric is with his dude bros, and they're like watching sports, and it's like the most awkward man dialogue because they're like, "Oh, my wife's cooking a yam." I don't even know what they were saying. Cooking a yam or whatever.
Well, they were all
so
very
weird.
excited because clearly he's like the cool single guy that has a really nice house and they could go hang out there. And then they all have like a wife and kids, and they're all like, "Oh yeah, we come here to drink beer and like have fun and get away from our family."
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, this is where we were going to play poker or whatever." Like, so awkward and strange. It was like very heavy-handed dialogue, but like trying to show gender roles, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes, and in doing it, they very awkwardly made a misogynist joke about his guacamole.
Oh,
When they said,
okay.
"Oh, you're going to make a great housewife one day," as a male who does the
makes
cooking in my household,
good guacamole
and makes
and
amazing
salsas.
guacamole.
Really good green salsa.
I was personally offended by this.
Yeah,
It's
I'm offended.
2017, almost 2018. We can
Yeah.
make guacamole, men.
Might I
Don't be
say,
afraid to make guacamole.
You
If
guys
you're a
are
dude-
both really good at snacks, like for parties. Very good, very good snack cooks.
Thank you, Patrick.
Yes. Buffalo chicken dip. You got all that shit.
Buffalo
chicken
chicken
dip.
You do snacks
Guacamole.
well.
That's my favorite.
Chips.
Okay.
You bring chips like a motherfucker.
Don't forget the dips.
Chips and dips.
Chips
I could live on chips and dips.
and chicks.
But, speaking of cooking, Eric is a cookbook writer or some type of writer of like life advice type of thing. Maybe like Men's Health, but a book.
Yeah, so I think he writes like as a bachelor, like how to live your life as a bachelor and how great it is to be a bachelor. But then, and he wrote some books, but then he randomly wrote a cookbook,
Yeah.
like how
Which
to
the-
cook as a bachelor.
Yeah, the best part of the Bachelor cookbook, a little later, spoiler alert, they show you the cover of it, and he randomly has a mustache on that cover.
sure.
Yes, I
Just a
forgot about
stash.
that.
And just in general, guys, I had to look up Jesse Metcalfe to see how old he is because he's like over 40. Like he's playing like these young men.
He looks
on,
amazing.
On Desperate Housewives, he was like 30.
Really?
Yeah, can you
See,
I'm like,
I
what?
said to Ron, I'm like, he kind of looks old.
He looked like Eddie Munster with his like hair.
Yes.
He had his hair grown back, slicked back. He has like a widow's peak.
yeah,
like
he's got that widow's peak.
Eddie Munster all the way. So we talk about women's appearances. We're not discriminating because this man looked like a little plastic surgery had happened. Little hair plugs maybe or hair dye for sure.
Absolutely.
I definitely said several times, he has terrible hair.
Horrible. Just shave your head. Like it would look so great. But, he's trying to do that long slick back thing. Anyways, so April's sister, or in Ron's opinion, lover.
There were just some weird, awkward moments
The
between
very,
the two
the very
of them.
early scenes
I
were
think
a
that
little
might
awkward.
just be bad acting.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
So the
like
bad-
I think so.
It was
In a
bad.
Lifetime movie?
The bad
I
acting,
disagree.
A Hallmark movie.
The bad acting
Well,
made them
apologies.
look like it were like incestual. Is
no,
that how bad
I
the
didn't,
acting was?
No, I mean maybe if that's what you're reading, but
Oh.
I didn't get that. I just found them like
Is
very
there a review that
very
says that
like
they were
shrill
incestual?
and no. So she's like pushing her April to audition for this violin role.
Well, apparently they're both in the orchestra or she plays in the orchestra, the sister does, and she wants April to audition to play in the orchestra.
yeah,
And at one point, you see a shot of the New York skyline, and then you randomly hear them say, the Philharmonic, but then
Oh.
they use different terms later on. So it's all a little jumbled and
okay.
confusing.
So nothing's really adding up, but basically she wants to audition to play the violin in some orchestra, and she can't because she gets the hiccups.
Yes. So she gets nervous, apparently, and she starts hiccuping while she's auditioning.
And like if you have a violin, you have to like hold it in your thing, and like you're playing like the thing. I'm demonstrating with my hands very poorly, but like if you hiccup, then you might drop your violin, probably.
yeah.
I
Right?
mean, I think you could hiccup and still jam out some tunes.
It's not like
without-
you're using your breath. It's not like,
like a hiccup doesn't make you lose control of your entire like body, right? I mean, mine does. Mine
I
does.
don't. I've never played
yeah,
a violin, so
yeah,
I don't know.
I do question that writing approach where they're just like, the hiccup is going to mess up you playing the violin. It doesn't affect your hands.
I don't.
Yes.
Question
so
mark?
maybe she hiccups very strongly.
Yes.
Well, we don't ever see her actually hiccup, so
And
that's
No,
she
that's true,
says-
because I doubt the actress could convincingly hiccup on command. I don't think she could do it.
that's a very good point.
She'd probably be like, hiccup,
Yeah, that's what.
hiccup, hiccup. Like, no, whatever the fuck, what was her name? Oh, no, Fiona. We want you to hiccup, not say hiccup.
Fiona Gubelmann.
She's like, I'm trying. Hiccup. No. Okay. So she works in this fancy restaurant, and here's where they're going to meet, Drew.
Okay.
So Eric, is with his Canadian redheaded girlfriend,
Sure.
and they're like, just like talking shit about April and how noisy of a neighbor she is, and she overhears them. So she's like playing.
She's playing the violin like at people's tables.
So she goes like right up to their table and plays the violin like right in their face, and she's like, "Can you hear that? Can you hear
What?
that? I bet you could. I bet you could hear that."
And she
Bye.
Works, she works there. She's like a server.
So
Yeah, she's,
no, well,
she's like the paid entertainment.
yeah. So
Oh.
the story is her sister's boyfriend owns the restaurant.
You already lost me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
her sister's
Yeah.
boyfriend
It
owns the
doesn't matter.
restaurant,
Doesn't
but it's like a
matter.
fancy restaurant, and it's like, why do you have violin players? And then the sister's playing the piano, and
Yeah.
it's just very weird.
So she's
Okay.
like super sassy on that.
Yeah, my notes say she should have been fired about 10 minutes into that.
Right.
I wrote about Bridget, the girlfriend. I said, thirsty bitch. I like her.
Oh, I liked her too, and I actually looked her up on Instagram because I was like, I just want to see what she's doing. She only has like 300 followers. Like I have more
Aw.
followers than her, and she's in a movie.
Yeah,
She-
I liked
So everyone
her.
go follow Bridget.
I'm going to.
I don't know what her name is.
Do you know her name?
No.
Nope.
Her character's name was
Her
Bridget.
character's name was Bridget, and she was very good in this movie. Because she played like the character that's like so over kids and like does not care.
Yeah.
So-
I wrote, she's me. Bridget is me.
Well, you have red hair. You could be a Canadian
I know. I could
actress.
totally be a
the
Canadian
Canadian
actress.
redheaded friend, which is a trope in these. So moving along, I'm just going to jump around here. So there's like a snowstorm that happens. And, oh, right, because there's a whole side plot where with the kids. Or it's not even a side plot. It's a huge plot point. But I
It's
just
the
didn't
entire
fucking-
plot.
I didn't fucking care.
Yeah, we haven't got to the plot yet.
So Eric has a sister. Her name's Anna, and she's stuck in Norway with her
With
husband.
her super Canadian husband.
Yes.
Yeah, the husband's accent was so jarring, it pulled me right out of the movie.
I think he was actually wearing like one of those Canadian like outfits with like the tall boots and like the red vest thing and like a big hat.
Is that a Mountie?
They're called Mounties.
Oh, there you go. I knew somebody would know.
He was a Mountie.
He was a Mountie, but not really. Anyway, so they can't come home. So the Eric's mom is like, "What am I gonna do to make my son be more responsible? I'm gonna pretend to have the flu and pass these kids off to him." So she like calls him. She's like, "I'm sick. Can you watch these kids?" And
And she literally fake coughs like that
yeah.
like 10 times.
Oh,
a
I just nailed my Hallmark audition.
minute. Yeah, nailed it.
So then he has to take the kids, and they're like freaking out that his house isn't decorated, and he's like, well, okay, what do you want to do? They're like, well, let's go get a tree. So
And just to jump in real quick, he is firmly anti-Christmas for some very personal reasons we'll hear about momentarily.
Well,
I bet.
but-
Yeah, I bet his. I bet
But
his
the
parents
reason, though, well,
I'm gonna
so
guess.
initially, like his mom kept saying, "Oh, you're jinx
Yes.
for Christmas. That's why you hate Christmas." So the first thing I say to Ron, I'm like, "Oh my God, I bet you he killed his dad or his dad died on
Right,
Christmas."
yeah.
Now, one, there is
And he
no
thinks
mention
it's
of
a
the dad
jinx.
ever. But,
No.
But two, I wrote down major plot twist because the mom just randomly drops Christmas jinx.
yeah, and
Enticing.
this is when you're thinking like, all right, here we go. Here we're gonna get all this shit about Christmas, or like in Gremlins when the spoiler alert when the girl's like, my dad died in the chimney.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite
Forgot
twist.
about that.
I was like, yes, give me some of that. Let's
awesome.
get weird. No.
I was hoping for a dark twist.
Nothing
Not
like
dark
that.
enough.
But, and I will just say the first. So there were
Yeah.
a couple reasons, but the first one was his car was stolen, right? Like on Christmas Eve when he was
So
shopping
with his
or
first
something.
book, he bought he just
Another
says like a
sports
fancy
car.
sports car,
Uh-huh.
and it was stolen
Oh god.
on Christmas Eve.
So
Christmas
when he was
Eve?
shopping for presents. So that's the first jinx.
So he hates Christmas because of that.
Well, maybe he shouldn't have waited to the last minute to do the shopping. Just saying.
Speaking of shopping, they go shopping because Eric only buys gift cards as gifts. So he's like a person who gives gift cards.
Makes sense in 2017.
Cool.
I mean, who
Save
buys
time.
gift cards? Nobody. But yeah, so the kids are
goes
like,
to places and
we
buys
do.
their gift card.
Oh, you do?
Like,
Yeah.
you do,
No,
do you-
we buy it online.
yeah, you get
Yeah.
it online, or you go to the one-stop shop fucking disc where he's like, well,
Right.
I'm gonna go get an Olive Garden. I gotta go to Olive
Exactly.
Garden to get that.
You
Like,
could
no,
go
you
to
don't, man.
no, you
You
could go
can
to
buy
like
that
Mariano's or Jewel and get
fact,
like, or
everything.
Target.
In fact, go to an Olive Garden, and
Are
I
they
dare
paying
to
for
ask
this
them,
sponsorship?
no, but if anybody would like to sponsor the podcast, please hit us up at, what's our email?
Oh, you can just hit me up at
Oh.
drew@universehead.com.
Pay us money. Anyways, so yeah, so the kids are like, let's go shopping because we need to buy gifts, or we need like glitter and paper because we make our own gifts,
Yes, they made their own gifts,
which
and
is
cards.
terrible. I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want a gift card, and I don't want something you made with
don't want
glitter
that.
and construction paper.
Well,
okay?
and I feel like they come from a pretty rich family. Like the parents are in Norway, like for a conference, and I don't know. So really,
Wait,
why
her
are they?
parents?
Or
Or
the
his-
kid's parents.
His
Yeah.
sister.
So his sister. So I'm kind of like, why
Gotcha.
are they making gifts?
So
I
many
mean,
people.
come on.
Very strange. So they go shopping, and then of course, who's there? April's there, and she like helps him like find a gift. And does she like? Is this? They're
Oh,
blurring
the
together for me,
necklace.
but yeah, the necklace. So she's like, I love this necklace, and he's like, cool.
I'll buy it for my mom.
Yeah. So she
Yeah.
says, buy it for your mother. That would be great.
And then he said, but here, try it on. And then she tries it on, and he's like, oh, it looks so beautiful on you. And she's like, oh, yeah, it's beautiful. And so then he's like, well, maybe you should buy it for yourself. And he goes, she's like, no, I've bought myself too many things already. or
Yeah, and then
something."
he awkwardly says, well, maybe that someone special could buy it for you.
Yeah, but who's not him? Someone else. You know?
That's what he
Ay,
finishes
ay,
like, oh no,
Yeah.
not me. Did you think
It's
it,
a
oh,
lot
no,
of
no, no.
it's a
somebody
lot
else.
of
Yeah.
awkward
I'm
flirting.
dating that redhead over there who's, by the way, she, the Canadian redhead girlfriend,
Yes,
is now
Bridget.
in line with his niece and nephew waiting for them to sit on Santa's lap.
Yeah, she hates the kids, but then she's stuck with the kids while he's having a romantic like tryst with April.
And this whole thing is taking place in like an outside little market. So they're
Yeah.
at no point are they further than 100 feet away from each other.
So then they go ice skating,
okay.
and April admits that she's read his books and she like knows who he is, and then she gives him like advice for like what he could do to be a better writer, which all writers love advice like that, I'm sure. And then what? He says he hates Christmas again. Because
Oh, wait, then we
it's-
find out the second.
I think this
Yeah,
is
this
the big
is the
reveal.
second- this is the
Oh no,
second
this is
reason.
the big reveal.
Yeah, so go
the
ahead, Mel.
second reason he did say he fell off a ladder, and that was the other jinx.
Yeah, a little earlier he did mention
Yeah.
he fell off a ladder while decorating a Christmas tree.
Wow.
And he doesn't say if he like broke a leg, but he hurt himself.
Yes.
I'm using air quotes here.
Yeah.
Yes. So now the big reveal that he's telling April, because she's like, why do you hate Christmas so much? I just don't understand. She's so upset about it. Because, by the way, she loves Christmas and like her
Yes.
house is crazy decorated and
Of course.
like she's obsessed.
Yeah.
Let me just interject. She loves Christmas so much. Her tree looks like shit, for the record.
Oh.
So she likes it so much that her tree looks like shit.
She
Ron
just,
was very angry
Yeah,
about that.
I don't get it.
Very angry.
The math doesn't add up, Drew.
But
you can like a
you
lo-
mean but
you can
her
like
tree?
a lot of things.
He basically said if she loves Christmas that much, she should have had a better tree.
I was like, it was.
And
she loved Christmas so
too
much that her tree was a fucking mess.
Yes. So what's the big reveal?
Okay, so the big reveal
I have
is...
one big reveal right now
Oh.
Uh-oh.
about the Bridget, who she is.
Oh, yeah. Who's
wait,
Bridget?
Let's hear
Spoiler
that.
alert.
Tara Yelland.
Tara Yelland.
She was
Everyone
in
go
The
follow
Good
Tara
Witch.
Yelland. Yeah, Good Witch. That's a Hallmark show.
Yeah. But she's also in this kind of fucked up show on Netflix called Small Crimes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it a new show?
Yep.
Oh, cool.
Ooh,
I will
I
check
might
that out
watch
because
it.
I need to watch all the crimes, and I really liked her in this movie.
And this lady,
yeah.
old Tara,
Yeah.
yeah, follow her. Also, Tara, you're way more attractive than the main character.
Yeah, she was super hot.
Yes, it's not even close.
Like by, I would say, like another 10 points.
Yeah.
exponentially.
And her Instagram's pretty good. Like she like has good pics. Like you can tell like she's a cool chick. Like she's not like
I'm in love with her already.
maybe she'll get a movie next year.
Yeah.
I'm
rooting for her.
She can hate kids in that one, and then they'll like turn it around. Anyways, so April gets courage from Eric because he's like, "Hey Siri, how do you get over stage fright?" And Siri's like,
Wait, we skipped the big reveal.
"Oh, we didn't even do that part yet."
No,
Okay.
I did my
Maureen,
big
do the big
reveal.
Okay,
reveal.
we
Big
have
reveal.
to. So big reveal. The reason Eric hates Christmas so much is that he was dating a girl that he was madly in love with, and on Christmas Eve he proposed, and she said no because she was in love with someone else.
Oh, boner.
Wah, wah.
And that's all we get.
Yeah.
She was in love with someone else.
That's it.
Oh, okay.
But you know,
That's all you need, really, right?
guys, with this movie, that's the most you could ask for.
Note to self: don't ever propose on Christmas Eve. I'm
No.
sorry. It's
No,
the worst.
Just
No,
you
David.
know,
No,
drink
David.
eggnog or whatever.
no major holidays. Don't ever do that.
Yeah, because then you have to celebrate your
saying.
anniversary, your engagement. And do you guys celebrate an engagement anniversary?
No.
Oh, okay, I didn't know if that was a thing. Someone does, I'm sure.
Definitely not.
But I don't think it's a thing.
I just had to
If-
think for a
if
second.
you
I,
do,
I
you're
don't
an-
remember
you're
when we got
weird.
engaged.
You're weird if you do
Well,
that.
well, great. It wasn't on Christmas Eve. I know that.
No, it wasn't.
So yeah, he tells her to like audition, and she goes to the audition and she like nails it, and then they go.
And she played a Christmas song for her audition.
Oh, and it is totally what is that sister movie where the sister plays the cello all the time? You know? Oh.
I do not know.
No, don't know
Okay,
what you're talking
well,
about.
The Cello Sisters?
The Cello Sisters, it's really good, whatever
Love
it
that
is.
one.
But like, you know,
Oh, you
when you're
mean
like
marbles.
madly playing a string instrument and your hair's like flying all over the place, and it's just like, that's basically what she did.
Wait, could I just say something? So while he was telling her about what she should do to like not be nervous and stop the hiccups,
Yes.
Ron's like, you need to pause this. And I'm like, why? He goes, all right, if she was really auditioning for the orchestra, she wouldn't even like be in front of an audience. Like, and he gave this whole explanation of like what you do when you audition for an orchestra. And I'm like, have you auditioned for an orchestra? I'm so
Supposedly, when you
confused.
audition for an orchestra, you're
Yeah.
behind a curtain and they cannot see you.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that.
And you walk out on a carpet so they cannot hear your footsteps because they want to be completely unbiased. They just want to hear your performance.
Mm-hmm.
This is my understanding from the couple of music classes I took in college. But
Okay. I've heard this too, so I don't think it's not true.
right,
I didn't
this
say
is
I
totally
didn't
fact.
believe him. It just was really random,
Seems
and it
a
was
lot
funny
of-
that he's
seems
like,
like
"You
a
need to
lot of
pause
work
the
to
movie
do.
because I need to tell you this."
Well, so if she's auditioning, so pretend you have to audition just as the same that you would have to in an acting situation. Even that, though, you're not in front of like a crowd. Was
no,
she in
it,
front
it
of
was
a crowd?
it was 3 people.
Which they also
okay.
show in her audition. It's 3 people
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
in
it
a
was,
room.
It was normal.
That's about 12 by 12.
So they just the writer was like, I don't know, just they're in front of
This
judges.
literally was
That's
like the
what-
writer just like, okay, just get to the beats.
Just get to the fucking-
the thing. So she auditions, and then they go caroling, and they sing "Joy to the World," our favorite song of the season, because Hallmark has the license for that song and no other songs. And you know, Eric's like kind of having fun, and then like they go to drop off the kids or something, and like the Bridget girl's there.
Oh yeah,
And they're like breaking up, right? But then they have like an amicable hug, right?
And a kiss on the cheek. He kisses her on the cheek.
and
Okay.
that's all that April sees.
April
she
sees a
happens
kiss
to
on the
look at the
cheek.
kiss on the cheek, and she's like,
She's so mad.
Oh,
Yes.
and
Very
So
then
upset.
she storms off and starts giving him the cold shoulder.
And he had just invited her back to his house to watch a movie.
Yeah, we all
and
know
then
what that
and
means.
then Bridget
And
was
Bridget
on
was
her.
on the doorstep
Oh, right.
to break up with him. But
You're never going to just watch a movie, okay? Word to the
agree.
wise.
You're gonna also chill.
Don't tell me we're gonna watch First Wives Club and then not let me watch First Wives Club.
Yeah, there was a line where
I'm assuming that's what they
where
were
our
watching.
protagonist Eric says, "Maybe we could stay distracted together," which I wrote down as just code for sex.
It is because they can't say sex on Hallmark.
No.
Not allowed. So he's like all confused as to why she's upset, and like his new manuscript gets accepted, and he's all excited.
Right, so he changes his writing approach from this super bachelor bro writing,
Like April suggested.
and now he's writing about the bachelor who wants more. He wants to fall in love.
He
and
wants a wife and kids.
have
Yeah.
family and kids.
And I wrote down the title. The title of the book
Kinda
is
boring.
called Uncle Christmas.
Sounds a bit rapey.
That's what I said. I said
Wait,
creepy.
There's a second part. Uncle Christmas. How Christmas heals the heart. That's it.
Uncle Christmas.
Uncle Christmas.
Yeah. Sounds
It could
creepy.
be.
So
creepy.
remember, the whole plot
Print it.
of this movie turns
Perfect.
on his niece and nephew melting the ice around his heart.
Yeah, pretty much. And like, they're grown ass
Hell
kids.
yeah.
Like it took him a while.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, they're also way too old to still believe in Santa, but that's another point.
Santa is real.
How old are they?
Maybe like 7, 8.
I fucking still did when I was.
So
No,
did I.
they're definitely like 11, 10.
No.
They shouldn't have still believed in Santa Claus. Just saying.
I would still believe in Santa
I think
Claus.
I believed in Santa
I
till
believed-
probably like 11.
way too long.
I'm
Me
sorry,
too.
guys.
Well, and then I had to keep it going for my brothers. Joe, Santa is real. He still
Santa
believes.
is real.
He still believes.
Actually, yeah, I still believe in Santa Claus.
But I would be like saying shit. I'm like, you hear that on the roof? Oh, you hear that little brother? I hear Santa. He's coming. You better go to bed.
You better go to bed, dude.
Yeah.
What accent was it that you just got?
That's my.
He's from Baltimore,
I
remember.
finished my coffee, so now I'm doing accents. Anyways,
do it.
so then the whole family gets together.
The
for like a
sister
dinner
and
thing,
brother-in-law
right?
get home and they surprise him like, "Oh my
Yes.
god, we're showing up at your house!" And he had already made an entire turkey
Well, because he has that
just
cookbook.
for him and the two kids.
Yes, he made point to mention he has a cookbook that none of his family have read.
Right. Well, his family hates him because his mom pulled this whole scheme on him, and then she's like, "Oh, I felt bad like the third day, but I just kept going with it." So
So I needed you to be responsible and
Yeah.
to grow up.
Yes, the mom was, for lack of a better term, shady.
she was shady, and she was like, no, didn't like her. And then April, his whole family's like, "Oh, April's so great. You really like her." And it's like the equivalent of like Sex and the City when Miranda tells Big to like, "Go get our girl."
Yes.
It was so like that.
And they're like, text her or go to her house. He's like, "She's not home. She's working." I know where she is.
Yes. So
That's a direct quote from the dialogue. He
Yeah.
goes, "She's not home. She's working."
So
I know
where do
where
they
she's-
go? Because I didn't write it down.
The restaurant.
The restaurant.
Because she
Oh.
was playing the violin
Yes.
at the restaurant.
And so he has the necklace, right?
Yes.
Yes, he does have the necklace.
Because
My notes
stepping
are
back
very
for,
minimal at
For
this
some
point.
reason, April was helping the niece and nephew wrap presents while Eric was meeting with his agent.
Oh, yeah. And then they say, "Oh, yeah, that necklace is for Bridget." Or no, April says, "Oh, I think I'm sure that necklace is for Bridget." And they're like,
What the
"No,
fuck
I think
is
it's
happening?
for you."
What
Yeah.
the fuck is happening?
Yeah,
Basically-
Yeah,
It's
there's the necklace that
Where the
she
fuck is the
tried
necklace?
on.
Why is the necklace a thing?
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
it's a thing.
stupid.
Because she tried it on earlier.
Doesn't
it's-
matter.
it's that
Doesn't
one.
matter.
Yeah,
That I
and she
forgot
thought,
about
Yeah.
already.
and she
I-
thought,
yeah.
and she thought he
It
bought it
doesn't
for
really
the redhead, and yeah,
It also
Okay.
looks like
I'm
it
already
costs
done.
about $12.
Yes.
I'm already done
So
with this movie.
she loves the necklace, and he's like, maybe we're meant to be together. And she says, "You don't even write romance novels." And he's like, "I'd rather live in one." They kiss. The end.
Wait, and then it went to commercial, but then I was like, oh, there has to be like something else. So I fast forward, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh wait, there's more. And Ron's
an
like, no,
epilogue.
that's a new movie. I'm
Yeah.
like, why did it just end like that? It was so random and like.
if they had if the Hallmark Cinematic Universe
Yes.
had
Gotta be a real
after credit scenes like like in Marvel.
That'd be
awesome.
hilarious.
But there weren't even credits.
No,
it just like it was a very random, quick kiss, and then it just cut to commercial,
No,
and then
because
the next scene was a
Because
new movie.
5 people made this movie. They don't
Right.
have credits.
Yeah, the credits aren't even worth mentioning.
Yeah.
So guys, on the podcast, we
Except for Tara's name. I love you,
Tara. Follow Tara. We on the podcast rate these on a pour it up or put a cork in it. What are we gonna do? We'll start with Ron.
I gotta say, pour it up.
And
Born it up?
why?
Okay.
Any reason?
Because it spoke to right directly to my heart. It was just a beautiful love story.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. It was just fun entertainment. It was meaningless, but it was kind of funny in a very ironic way, I guess you'd say. But I enjoyed
Cool.
it.
Good.
Tight.
Mo?
I will also pour it up.
Wow. Okay. Wonderful.
I actually thought for being a Hallmark Christmas movie, it was actually kind of good. I mean,
Yeah.
it had a decent actor. I mean, the acting was a little cheesy, but it was a pretty good story.
Okay.
So yeah.
You know, I'm blind. I'll blind pour it up because of Tara. Bridget.
You should watch
Oh.
it.
I think
Bridget.
Drew would love it.
This is one you should watch.
No.
Yes. No.
Oh, no.
Drew
I'm not
can't
gonna
watch
do
them.
That. I'm not going to do
You're not allowed.
Not allowed. I am going to put a cork in it. No. I could tell you guys like this movie, how much you were talking about it, and all your notes. Like, guys, they have pages of notes, and I have like
To be
maybe 5
fair,
paragraphs of notes, and I write reviews about them.
I take a lot of notes.
I love it. I love that you guys came prepared. I'm putting a cork in it because the gender roles thing turned me off like right at the top, and then there was no getting me back because it was just like very slopped together, very sloppy Hallmark slop. Very sloppy.
Yeah, I mean, it does. It like I pour it up only because of Bridget
Yes,
in there.
To be fair, Bridget
but-
Bridget is a very good looking woman.
and she did a good job.
Yeah.
She played her role very well.
But it sounds.
I wrote a lot of notes about her.
I would put a cork in it also
yes,
because everything you guys said confused the shit out of me.
yeah.
It was kind of all over.
Drew's face the whole time is like, wait,
I'm like,
I am
what?
not.
I can't even like
grasping
make
this.
fun of it.
No, you can't.
It's hard to even make fun of that.
but-
Well,
We're
because
in the last week.
it wasn't like a typical like Hallmark movie where it was so bad like you could make fun of it. It was kind of just like a normal bad
like
acting movie.
just kind of a romantic.
yeah,
mo-
it
like-
seemed like a normal movie
Oh, and
that took place at
it's
Christmas.
like a bad rom-com. And by the way, every time there was like a punchline, April's character would like have this really terrible laugh at it. And
yeah.
I counted 7 times where there was a punchline and she just kind of ha 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 ha
It was
very terribly. It sounded just like that.
right. Well, she can't hiccup on cue. How could she laugh on cue? So that wraps up our conversation about Christmas Next Door. But before we go, we have our favorite segment of this week and every week. What you say, Candace Cameron Bray? Yes, what you say, Candace Cameron Bray. We have a clip here. 7 Days of Staying Stylish has gone into 2 weeks, and
God.
yeah, she skipped
doesn't
the
know how to count.
weekend. She was like, she lost count. She has no idea what's going on, but she's trying. So I have a clip to play for you here, and we'll talk about it after. It's a little longer. I might just stop it in the middle once you get the gist, but we'll see.
7 days of staying stylish. Are we on day 5 or day 4?
No, Cameron.
Anyway, I wanted to show you what I do for some of my quiet time, whether that's in the morning or in the evening or just a pocket throughout the day. So I like reading devotionals. I have many that are old, new
Devotional.
favorites.
Very fashionable.
No.
I
She's,
like
like, showing
journaling.
all the books.
Here's a newer journal that I just.
I don't.
She
This
has
is
a
a newer
journal.
one for me. So I'm
Cute.
not even halfway through, but yeah, I started this one in the beginning of the year. But I really like journaling. I journaled last night. I do it a lot of times late in the evening. And don't forget that journaling is also a form of prayer. So you can write everything you
Oh, of
want
course,
to
you
God.
gotta throw
you
in
can write
God.
down your prayer requests. I like going back through them over the years and checking them off when God has answered those. And it's amazing to see how long you might have prayed for something. I can go back and sometimes I have prayers that he answered 10 years later. It's pretty amazing. So anyway, that's part of what staying stylish is all about to me. Got to take care of this first.
So she wraps up, but she forgets like one
So that's
thing
it for
on
today's
the
staying
bottom.
stylish tips.
So I'm
I
gonna
really
play
hope
till
that
there.
you'll grab the book because it's so much more than
She's
just
pushing her book,
clothing
promoting her book.
items and beauty
I'll remember
products.
that.
There's lots of stuff that gets right in here to the heart and the soul and the spirit, and that's the most important. Guys, I didn't even share the most important one. I just went back and watched all of the little videos. It's this book. It's that Holy Bible. That's the most important one.
The Bible, guys.
Of course, it's the most important
She
one.
forgot the Bible.
It's very fashionable.
Well, stylish. Like she's talking about. It's like
Well,
it's 7 days of being
In
stylish
the
or
beginning
whatever
of the stylist, she said, not all of them are going to be beauty tips.
Oh, okay.
They're going to be from the inside out.
Oh, sure, okay.
But what's hilarious is she goes through all these journals and she plugs her book, and then at the very end she's like, guys,
Oopsie.
and it wasn't right after. It was a while after she's like
basically, I watched all my videos and I was like, oh crap,
man, I
totally
forgot.
forgot that one.
Oh, whoops. the Bible, though.
Yes,
the
the
Bible.
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 yeah. So self-promotion first, Bible second. That's Candace Cameron Bray, guys. That's where she's coming from. Because we all know she was not raised to be very religious. She found God later in life. Not before finding herself.
Is that after she found the hockey player money, or can you clear that up for me?
I love how actually I love how she doesn't. She said when a prayer is answered 10 years.
10 years
after,
later,
you're like,
her prayer was
what?
answered.
What kind of God would let that happen?
I mean, and she's probably praying for something really strange, to be 10 pounds thinner
I want
or
blue
whatever.
eyes.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
I don't know.
I want to
Oh,
lose
boy.
15 pounds.
Yes.
And I finally got my prayer answered 10 years later.
There you go.
I lost
mean,
15 pounds.
you
And I
know.
got blue eyes.
Wow. So that wraps up our discussion about Christmas Next Door. Thank you, Geronimo, for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
And thank you, listeners, for checking back in with Lifetime in Court. We watch these movies so you don't have to, but if you do, I'd love to hear from you. You can follow me on social media at Patrick Miguel and the podcast at Lifetime in Court. Where can we follow you guys on social media? Or do you have a social media you'd care to plug?
Or do you even give
Now's
a
your
shit?
time.
Go ahead.
I don't give a shit.
Okay.
Oh, you should. Your Twitter is fun. Oh, so I'm
Yeah.
at Smitty Watson on both Instagram and Twitter. But I'll warn you, I only post pictures of my dog and alcohol.
Yeah, that's fine.
That sounds
Yeah,
great.
and I am on Twitter, R_Watsonian, but it's just pictures of my dog and talking
stuff.
shit about Michigan State basketball and football.
Oh,
Cool.
sports.
Okay.
Lots
Drew?
of sports stuff.
I am Drew, but with pants on
Yes.
Instagram. I don't care about Twitter at
No,
all.
Twitter sucks.
And that I post really mean things about my cat.
There you go.
So
Cats
that's
and
what-
dogs.
That's what I do.
But yes, check in with Lifetime in Court on the website, lifetimeincourt.com, or drunk dial us 872-267-4117 and share your thoughts. Don't forget to rate and review us on iTunes. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.